Everybody's in the know. God gave a divine system of communication through song, through their creative giftings. And that song was infused with the prayers of intercession for the next generation who would be free. But guess what happened when they got free? Just like Israel. We lost sight. Instead of singing about the God who was a great deliverer and who would one day set our children free, we actually begin to sing about the pleasures of being free. So out of the gospel sound of the slave plantation, suddenly it turned into something else. Now we don't need to sing about God anymore. He brought us out. I'm free. I'm free to do what I want. So then we start making, songs that begin to talk about who we are and what we got and what we can get. And it morphs from gospel to blues, gospel to jazz, to blues, to rock and roll, to hip hop, to all these different things that came out of a people who were in bondage in slavery on a slave plantation. Now I know some of y'all say, man, I don't believe that. You're making that up. Google it. What happened? We took these divine supernatural giftings and we begin to fashion an idol. We begin to worship our own giftings rather than the one who gifted us. And then we begin to create systems of idolatry. How many of you know Hollywood is actually a system? You can ask Hollywood insiders, of which I am one, but you can ask others, and they call it the Hollywood system. If you're an aspiring filmmaker, they talk about the Hollywood system. It's a system. The question is, what kind of system is it? And when I say Hollywood, when you hear me refer to Hollywood, I'm not just talking about the movies. I'm talking about the movies, the music, the theater, the drama, the dance. There is an artistic system that has been built over this nation that is actually shaping and shifting cultures across the world. But the question is, with any system, systems have a purpose and a function. And the question is, what is the function of the Hollywood system? What if I was to submit to you that the word media means medium? And that means the medium is simply a neutral vessel in which something can be channeled in order to attend or to gain an end purpose. So the medium is carrying something. And what that medium is carrying is being infiltrated, is being permeated throughout the nations of the earth. The question is, what is it carrying? What is it carrying? Now we could go there and I could go really in depth with what it's carrying. But I'm just going to give it to you like this. There is an idolatrous religious system in the system of Hollywood that is carrying baal-worship to the nations. It is carrying the worship of mammon to the nations. It is carrying the worship of self to the nations. It is a humanistic system that is espousing humanistic ideologies and has grown so powerful that it is a government unto itself. Now I'm about to make some people really, really mad. But do you know how some politicians have gotten elected? The media. They know they don't need all the finances. They don't need all the ins and outs of all these other things. All they need is the ear of the media. They need favor with the media, and if you got the media, you have the whole culture. Adolf Hitler actually understood this. Adolf Hitler used propaganda. All he did, he said, hey, give me the music of Nazi Germany. Give me the music, and I'll get my agenda. I will raise up a regime that is greater than any other that has been on the face of the earth. He played a record over loudspeakers over Germany. And it didn't happen in one day. It didn't happen in 2 days, but it happened when there was a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week constant playing of Jews are the enemy. They are the scum of the earth. I mean, that was what was coming forth. They put it to lyrics. They put it to song. And at first, when people first heard it, they're like, oh, this is disgusting. This is crazy. But it was that constant, steady sound. This is what we believe. This is what you should believe. How dare you not believe this? Until suddenly a whole nation would sit down and eat dinner while Jewish families were being ripped, raped, pillaged, slaughtered, and it became the order of the day. Are y'all with me? Today we have a Hollywood system that is under the dominion of Satan. And it is actually, some of us are actually inviting it into our homes. We actually buy movie tickets that perpetuate the death culture. We go to a movie cinema to actually watch death on the screen and laugh at it. We've becoming so desensitized because of the gradual 24-hour, everywhere you look. In fact, in the media world, they don't even call them TVs anymore. They don't. They call them displays. The iPhone, the LCDs, now the network television. I work in the television industry. The network television people are actually saying we've got to develop more and more technology for more and more displays. There's a new technology that came out that allows you to watch your TV channel and set your DVR from your phone. They want your eyes. There's a battle over the eyes of this generation and the ears of this generation, for real. I'm not just being legalistic. And there are whole systems of idol worship that mimic the days of Babylon and mimic the culture of Sodom and Gomorrah, and Hollywood, music, media, hip-hop is perpetuating it. So what do we do? What do we do? Do we redeem Hollywood? Can Hollywood be redeemed? Do we redeem hip-hop? Can hip-hop be redeemed? Will Ford talks about something called out of hip-hop into IHOP, a dream that he had. And I could talk more about that, but this is what I want to submit to you. God redeems people. Can God redeem a fallen system? He can. But look at what God originally instituted. He gave us creative giftings to establish a throne, a dwelling place for His glory. And I just want to speak to you about the reality of Revelation 4 that says, what now? We're looking at the culture. We've taken a very surface level look into the Hollywood culture and the system and the agenda of the enemy. We've exposed that. But what now? Revelation 4 says, come up here and I will show you what must take place. You don't know what to do? Come up to me and let me show you some things. So God is inviting us. There's a divine invitation to ascend the hill of the Lord. Moses went on top of a mountain to meet with God. He actually met with God on the mountain. And how many of you have heard of the mountains of influence, the 7 mountains of influence? The bottom line is there's a kind of a philosophy and an observation that there are 7 areas of mountains, 7 mountains that influence culture: media, arts and entertainment, family, government, education, business, and religion. And so there's been a ton of prophetic words lately that have come out about what God is going to do with the media mountain. But I want to submit to you that the highest invitation is not just that God raise up righteous, consecrated Nazarites who go into Hollywood and proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ and release the prophetic voice of heaven and prepare the earth for the return of Jesus. That's one thing. But let me suggest to you that God is actually inviting us to ascend the highest mountain, which is the mountain of the Lord. See, there are 7 low mountains, but then there's a high mountain. And see, that's the mountain that Moses ascended. Who may ascend the hill of the Lord? He who has clean hands and a pure heart. God is inviting us to ascend the mountain of God and then simply step off of that mountain onto the mountains of influence. See, it's lower. When you have a change of elevation, you can see things differently. Like I can see all the way to the back of the room because I'm up here. But down here, I don't see as clearly. So God wants a generation with eyes to see and ears to hear. I'm telling you, there are prophets in Hollywood. Hollywood has always had a prophetic edge. How many of you know that Jesus is returning to the earth? And how many end-time movies have come out of Hollywood in the last 3 years? 2012. I mean, I can't even count them, because in the